Okay, hopefully that's a little better. I'm going to start putting the questions in the chat. Just copy and paste them in. Kind of makes my job not matter. I think that'll work for most of the rounds. For the video round, we may have to scratch it. We'll see how the video goes. Okay, video seems better. Don't know what it was, to be perfectly honest, and I will find out later. In the meantime, let's get back to the questions. I know we had a lot of repeats. I'm just going to go through to the end and then repeat them all from the top. If at any point the video starts giving us trouble, let me know as soon as possible. Again, I'm on like a 20 something second delay as far as seeing the video at least. Let me make sure we got almost everyone back. Nope, not even close. Well, we cannot wait forever. So, let's check over here. We haven't got nearly anyone. You just need to hit F5 to refresh the screen. Such is business, such is life. I appreciate you coming back. Let's just sally forth. Question number 9. We'll do 9, 10, go all the way through. 9. Question 9. In 1940, the Norway debate ended with Neville Chamberlain being replaced as whom? Replaced by whom as Prime Minister of then Great Britain. In 1940, the Norway debate ended with Neville Chamberlain being replaced by whom as Prime Minister? See, the different URL is literally the only reason I want the Quizmister tag. It'll be a whole lot easier to reshare the link. Oh, heavens. Oh, actually, we've got most people back, it looks like. What a shame. Ah, well, that's why you get what you pay for. Question number 10. The absurdly hard question of the round. For a possible 3 points, give me the 3 official state languages of Transnistria. That's Transnistria. Pronounced Transnistria. Give me, for a possible 3 points, the 3 official state languages of Transnistria. Transnistria. That's a point each. Only write down 3 answers, though. If you write down 4 languages, I will only take the first 3. So, I'm going to go through all those 10 questions again. Hopefully, everyone gets back by the end. Question number 1. In 1429, who led the final charge during the Siege of Orleans? Question 2. The Siege of Orleans took place during which war, which curiously lasted 116 years? Question 3. Who painted the art series commonly known as Scream or The Scream? And for a bonus point, what is that series actually called? Question 4. Which world leader co-wrote Judo, History, Theory, Practice in 2004? Question 5. Which actor and star of Mr. Deeds Goes to Town and High Noon is name-checked in the song Puttin' on the Ritz? Question 6. Which stand-up comedian is the focus of the movie Super Jaime and recorded the album Professional Humoridian? Question number 7. In which modern country would you find the city of Hamelin from the Pied Piper of Hamelin? Question 8. Dr. Henry Howard Holmes, commonly known as H. H. Holmes, is famous for being one of America's first what? Question number 9. In 1940, the Norway debate ended with Neville Chamberlain being replaced by whom as Prime Minister? And question number 10, for a possible 3 points. Can you name the 3 official state languages of the nation of Transnistria? Transnistria. Transnistria. Hopefully the video has restored itself. If not, there's very little I can do about it. We are still in round one. We have more people back. I'm very sorry about that, but I do not know what more to do. I will I'll do a pre-check on my Wi-Fi. I'm actually not connected through Wi-Fi. Obviously, I'm not going to connect this, streaming video through a Wi-Fi connection. So hopefully it'll be better next week. Again, I apologize immensely. The video run's going to be rough. I'm going to try and I've already uploaded it to YouTube, and it didn't get any strikes because I'm just better. I'm getting better, guys. I hate disconnections. Go ahead and submit your answers now. Hopefully, after this, I'll let you know how many teams made it back after the break. Can anyone... Hopefully the stream is strong enough so people will be able to rewind for all questions. Is there anything else? We can but pray. Thank you very much for your patience. I will be back in, depending on how many teams actually send me answers, 5 minutes? And I'm back. So we did lose a couple teams. That's not super surprising, but we still have, I think, 8. I can always double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. I will go ahead and give the answers. If you haven't submitted your answer for round number 1 yet, now would seem the perfect time to do so. Okay, let's go ahead and do the answers, and then we'll do round number 2, where every answer will begin with the same letter of the alphabet. This week, that's a D for Delta. Alright, so here were the answers to round number 1, Today in History. The Siege of Orleans was led by Joan of Arc, or Jeanne d'Arc, or St. Joan. I accepted all 3. It took place during which war? That's the 100-Year War. Who painted the series commonly known as Scream? That's Edvard Munch. Only cared about the last name. Munch, or Munch is how it's pronounced. The name of the actual work is, the key word I was looking for is nature. It's the Scream of Nature, or the Schrei de Nature. So I needed the nature part. Which world leader wrote Judo History Theory Practice? That was Putin, Vladimir Putin. Oh, you only heard 4 questions? Well, we'll see what we'll do with the score at the end. I usually just give you the score for those questions for the lowest scoring team. That seems fair to me. The actor who's name checked in Putting on the Ritz is Gary Cooper, dressed up like a $1 million trooper. Trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Which stand-up comedian is the focus of the movie? You can now find out what the questions were. What stand-up comedian is the focus of the movie Super High Me? That's Doug Benson. In which modern country would you find the city of Hamelin from the Pied Piper of Hamelin? That's Germany. The modern country is Germany. Saxe-Coburg and the various Saxonies probably were correct then, but not anymore. Henry Howard Holmes, or H.H. Holmes, was one of America's first serial killers. Killed anything between 20 and 250 people. And he died today in 1896. The Norway debate ended with Neville Chamberlain being replaced as Prime Minister by Winston Churchill. And finally, the 3 official languages of Transnistria are Russian, Romanian... Oh, wait. No. 1 second. I believe this has actually changed since the time I wrote this, because the world is horrible. Official state languages, guys. Hold on. According to the CIA World Book, the only frame of reference for all of this. There's the demonym. The correct answer is, Russian, Ukrainian, Moldovan. Russian, Ukrainian, Moldovan. You get a 1 point for each, though. 1 point for each. And that was the round number 1. It was dramatic, very dramatic. Let's go ahead and type in Delta, and here we go. Please remember to write your team name at the top of each email. A couple people forgot. Totally understandable with the mix-up. Going to go back to Gmail on my top screen and make sure there aren't any more teams. Yes. All right. This is round number 2. Every answer will begin with the letter D for Delta. I'm glad to see so many teams getting back. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, because if we can get enough subscriptions, I can get that easier URL, and then it's much easier to share the video round and everything else. The month in the question number 1. Which month in the Gregorian and Julian calendar gets its name from the Latin for the number 10? Which month in the Gregorian and Julian calendar gets its name from the Latin for the number 10? Question number 1 for the last time. Which month in the Gregorian and Julian calendar gets its name for the Latin for the number 10? Question number 2. When it comes to names, I only care about last names, and the theme will usually only cover the last name. Again, the theme is, in case we're having more technical issues, every answer will begin with the letter D for Delta. If your answer doesn't begin with that, it's almost certainly wrong. Question number 2. Who is the main villain in the Hanna-Barbera cartoon Wacky Races? Who was the main villain in the Hanna-Barbera cartoon Wacky Races? For everyone who only submits 4 answers, I will go ahead and give you the same number of points for 5 through 10 that the lowest scoring team got. It's the best I can do. Question number 2 for the last time. What is the name of the main villain in the Hanna-Barbera cartoon Wacky Races? Question number 3. Which English pop group recorded the song Come On Eileen in 1982? Which English pop group recorded Come On Eileen in 1982? Question number 4. Which fruit native to Southeast Asia is most famous for its strong smell and thorned husk? Question number 4 again. Which fruit native to Southeast Asia is most famous for its strong smell and thorned husk? Question number 5. I want you to name the fictional character who says this line in a novel. Name the character who says, "In vain I have struggled, it will not do. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you." So which character says in a novel, which fictional character speaks the line, "In vain I have struggled, it will not do. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you"? I want the name of that character. Question number 6. What is the capital of the state of Delaware? What is the capital of the state of Delaware? Now I'm trying to check if they changed that too. We're cool. Question number 6 for the last time. What is the capital of the state of Delaware? Question 7. Which animal organized the ridiculous caucus race in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and is actually a caricature of the author himself? In Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, which animal organized the ridiculous caucus race? And this character, this animal, is actually a caricature of the author himself. Question number 7 for the last time. Which animal organized the ridiculous caucus race in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and is actually a caricature of the author himself? Question 8. Every answer begins with the letter D. Last reminder. Question 8. In Catholic, Anglican, and Orthodox Christianity, what name is given to an ordained minister ranked beneath a priest? In Catholic, Anglican, and Orthodox Christianity, what name is given to an ordained minister ranked beneath a priest? That had to get more wordy than I would have liked, because if I just said in Christianity, there are 12 million sects. So, hit the big guns. Question number 8 for the last time. In Catholic, Anglican, and Orthodox Christianity, what name is given to an ordained minister ranked beneath a priest? Question number 9. The constant threat of being destroyed or killed is sometimes referred to as having whose sword dangling above your head? The constant threat. This is question 9. Question 9. The constant threat of being destroyed or killed is sometimes referred to as having whose sword dangling above one's head? I've just decided for the people who had to submit their answers late and only answered 4, I'm just going to double whatever you got with those 4. That'll sort it out, mostly. Question number 10. Question 10. Which genre of music gets its name from the German word for a record library? Which genre of music gets its name from the German word for a record library? Now, hopefully you got all of those questions. Go ahead and submit your answers. I'll be back with the video round next. If not, we can just have 3 rounds this evening. That way we can get out of here by 9. Again, thank you all very much for coming back. Please message me in the chat if there are any other... Sorry, I got distracted by the chat, funnily enough. I'll be back in about 4 minutes? 3 minutes? Who knows? And we're back. It looks as though the video was fine for at least that round. Everyone did annoyingly well. 2 teams, I believe, got a perfect score, which makes me furious. If ever a team gets a perfect score or a 0, I have failed. But congratulations nonetheless. Good job. We also have every team has returned apart from the champion team. Either that or they've again forgotten my email address. We shall see what we shall see. That's still up there. Okay, let's go ahead and get the answers to the Delta round. D for Delta. They were as follows. The month in the Gregorian and Julian calendar that gets its name from the Latin for number 10 is December. The villain in Wacky Races was Dick Dastardly. I only needed Dastardly. Fun bonus, his middle name is Milhouse. His name is Richard Milhouse Dastardly. The English pop group who recorded Come On Eileen were Dexy's Midnight Runners. Just pausing so that the pedants in your particular chat room can share the fact of why there isn't an apostrophe in Dexy's Midnight Runners. Many teams have one, especially the good ones. The fruit native to Southeast Asia, most famous for its strong smell and thorned husk, is a durian. In vain I have struggled, it will not do. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. Really fun guess with D'Artagnan, but it's actually Darcy. Mr. Darcy or Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy. All I needed was Darcy. What is the capital of the state of Delaware? That's Dover. The animal in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, it's a caricature of the author himself, is the dodo. The rank of an ordained minister just beneath a priest is a deacon, D-E-A-C-O-N. And the constant threat of being destroyed is referred to as having the sword of Damocles hanging above your head. Question number 10, the final question of that round, was name the genre of music that gets its name from the German word for a record library. That is disco from discotheque. Alright, the next round is the video round. I will be paying attention as best I can on the chat. If there's any issues, I will share the link on YouTube, but I prefer if we all watch it together. The theme is robots. That's it. That's the theme. There is no copyrighted music, and the clips are nice and short. In fact, this whole round is only about 4 minutes long. I'll see if I can repeat it at the end. Otherwise, heck, let's just see if this works. All right, I am back with the answers for the video round. I think you're all very clever, don't you? I almost interrupted the first playthrough because I was going to point out that two of them are sequels, and I didn't need the exact names. Then I saw the scores and how high they were. Yeah, and I started caring about that. I'm very sorry, but 3 teams got perfect scores on that one. I should have known better. It's some nerd sweet spots, but we'll be back to some weird, obscure Irish stuff next week. I was genuinely considering showing clips from Northern Irish 1980s commercials and just cutting out the top and tail, and your job was to guess what the product was, because some of them are fun. All right, so here are the answers to the video round. I just realized I've never written them down, so that's fun. Let me close this, and then can I look at it? I certainly can. If I just do this and the movie round. All right, so I'm going to. Oh, yeah, go ahead and say the answers. It's absolutely not too late. I can still get you on the board. I think there's 2 teams who haven't submitted their answers. Go right ahead. I generally trust people because there's no prize involved. Why would you cheat? Or, everyone was super honest about the drop connection. Don't worry about it. I assume that most people are actually playing themselves indoors. So, okay. So, I'm actually going to pull up the clips in another tool. Sorry about this. So, movie number 1 was I'm just going to go through the movies. I don't know the order off the top of my head. I just have the clips here. The movies were Metropolis. Fritz Lang's Metropolis. Either one worked. By the way, congratulations to the team who successfully named every robot in each scene, apart from one. Didn't ask for that. That was just you doing wheelies. Congratulations. You know what? Sorry about this. I'm going to have to pull up the actual video, because if I get any of them in the wrong order, my brain will stop working. So, movie 1 was Metropolis. Movie 2 was Ex Machina. Number 3 was Aliens with an S. Ian Holm is the android in Alien, and yeah, that wasn't him. That was Lance Henriksen as Bishop. The next movie was The Iron Giant. Right after that was Westworld. Just a reminder, it never occurred to me to say it again after week 1, mostly because I generally assume it's the same 20 of my friends. It's turned out there's a lot of people who found it, don't really know how, and I'm super glad. But yeah, don't mention answers in the chat. Very few people use the chat in general, so I'm sorry I didn't mention it earlier. The next movie was Westworld. The one after that was Blade Runner 2049. Right after that was not Lost in Space, which was a TV series, but the same robot, Robbie the Robot, was used in Lost in Space. That's Forbidden Planet with Leslie Nielsen back when he was a dreamboat. Next up was Short Circuit, a film that manages to not be racist in spite of having a very racist character in it, which is a very strange achievement. Next was Will Smith in I, Robot. Every one of those millions of robots played by Alan Tudyk. Next up, finally actually, was Spaceballs, which is not good. Stop pretending it is. It's the worst Mel Brooks... No, it's not. I wish it was the worst Mel Brooks film. Let's move on. The final round will be general knowledge. In reality, it's a today in history for a day we aren't doing trivia, so I just picked it and changed the words a little bit. There'll be 10 questions. This will be the final round. If you could go ahead and submit your answers right at the end, I'll be back with the final answers and scores and whatnot. Bear with me a second, and let's have a look here. The final round. Question number 1. I've stopped doing the slow pitch softball, guys. You're doing incredibly well. Especially the people who are playing solo and doing properly well and getting exactly the right ones weirdly wrong in a way that delights me. Thank you very much. And also thank you to the people who are subscribing. It actually opens up a bunch of cool tools we can use in YouTube. I'm sorry to bore you. Question number 1. Which Venetian served in the court of Kublai Khan for 17 years? Which Venetian served in the court of Kublai Khan for 17 years? Apologies. We're running a little behind, so let's clip through these. I will still repeat them all at the end. Question number 1. Which Venetian served in the court of Kublai Khan for 17 years? Question 2. Which 1862 battle is commemorated by Cinco de Mayo? Which 1862 battle is commemorated by Cinco de Mayo? That was question 2. Question number 2 for the last time. Which 1862 battle is commemorated by Cinco de Mayo? Question number 3. Which member of Monty Python's Flying Circus wrote the travel books Around the World in 80 Days, Pole to Pole, and Brazil? Question 3 again. Which member of Monty Python's Flying Circus wrote the travel books Around the World in 80 Days, Pole to Pole, and Brazil? Question number 4. What nationality was theologian, poet, and philosopher Kierkegaard? What nationality was Kierkegaard, the theologian, poet, and philosopher? I'm not sure this is necessary to say, but let's say it anyway. Which modern nation was theologian, poet, and philosopher? What nationality was theologian, poet, and philosopher Kierkegaard? And that's the modern nationality, not the nationality as it was at the time of his birth. Not sure if it would have changed. So give me the nationality of Kierkegaard for question 4. Question number 5. Can you please name for me the capital of Ethiopia? The capital of Ethiopia. I swear one day we'll run out of these. There was a brief period during which I asked for the capital of Canada every week for about 4 months. With the sole intention that if everyone got it right finally, then I would stop asking it. That never happened. I got bored. Question number 5 for the last time. What is the capital of Ethiopia? Question number 6. Karl Marx's most famous solo work is Das Kapital. But what does the title mean in English? Karl Marx's most famous solo work was the book Das Kapital. What does Das Kapital mean in English? Question number 7. Which annual holiday was first observed in the United States in 1866 in New York? Which annual federal holiday was first observed in the United States in 1866 in New York City? Which annual holiday was first observed in the United States in 1866 in New York? Too many N's in that sentence. Question number 8. Question 8. Sitting Bull was a religious leader and chief of which North American indigenous people? Question number 8. Sitting Bull was a religious leader and chief of which North American indigenous people? And for a bonus point, because it popped in my head, for a bonus point, give me the name of his famous adopted daughter. So, question number 8 again. Sitting Bull was a religious leader and chief of which North American indigenous people? And for a bonus point, name his famous adopted daughter. Go crazy with the bonuses, mostly because bonuses tend to separate the wheat from the chaff, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of wheat. Too much wheat. Question number 9. Napoleon was exiled to which island in 1814? Napoleon was exiled to which island in 1814? For a bonus point, speaking of which, for a bonus point, on which island did Napoleon die? So, for 1 point, question number 9, Napoleon was exiled to which island in 1814? And for a bonus point, name the island on which he died. I'll read every one of these questions the whole way through. I'll take a slightly longer break in order to do all of the final scores and answers and try and remember what I wanted to tell you before this was over. But question number 10. Which educational texts were created by Clifton Hillegas in the 1950s? Which educational texts were created by Clifton Hillegas, Hillegass, in the 1950s? That third word is texts, Texts. Question 10 for the last time. Actually, no. Let's go through all of the questions real quickly, and then I'll repeat them all. Question number 1. Which Venetian served in the court of Kublai Khan for 17 years? Question 2. Which 1862 battle is commemorated by Cinco de Mayo? Question 3. Which member of Monty Python's Flying Circus wrote the travel books Around the World in 80 Days, Pole to Pole, and Brazil? Question 4. What modern nationality was theologian, poet, and philosopher Kierkegaard? Question 5. What is the capital of Ethiopia? Question 6. Karl Marx's most famous solo work is Das Kapital, but what does the title mean in English? Question 7. Which annual holiday was first observed in the United States in 1866 in New York? Question number 8. Sitting Bull was a religious leader and chief of which North American indigenous tribe? And for a bonus point, I wanted the name of his famous adopted daughter. Question number 9. Napoleon was exiled to which island in 1814? And for a bonus point, name the island on which he died. Question number 10. The last question of the round. Which educational texts were created by Clifton Hillegas in the 1950s? I'm going to take a little break, score those, and be back with the final answer, scores, and who won. We lost last week's number 1 team, so it's anyone's game, so long as you're good at trivia. Bear with me a moment. All right, we're back for the final answers, scores, and that's pretty much it. If you haven't submitted your answers yet, 2 teams haven't. You still have a chance while I waffle for a second. If you're able at all, you can donate to the Seattle Hospitality Emergency Fund. They've raised a great deal of money, but they're doing a great deal of good with it. I am in no way associated with them. I just think it's a good charity. Especially with the theme of pub quizzes, which, you know, it's helping people who aren't currently able to work. Other than that, go ahead and subscribe each player, not each team. That way I can actually have an idea of how many people are playing. Because I know there's a couple rooms where people are all gathered together rather than doing it remotely. And good for you for being able to. But also, don't do that if you don't, if you don't live together. Here are the final answers of the final round. These scores range from 0 to 10. So, much happier with that round as a writer. I'm not going to lie. Here are, however, the answers. If you haven't submitted your answers, you've got about 60 seconds. We had, by the end of it, 9 teams. Wait, 9 teams. And here are the answers for the final round. The Venetian who served in the court of Kubla Khan was Marco Polo. Cinco de Mayo commemorates the Battle of Puebla from 1862. The member of Monty Python's Flying Circus who wrote the travel books Around the World in 80 Days. Pole to Pole in Brazil is Michael Palin, who was a very famous travel author in his older age and made a bunch of really great travel documentaries, including all of those titles. I'm sure they're available on the BBC's website. What nationality was Kierkegaard? He was Danish. What is the capital of Ethiopia? Addis Ababa. Very good. Now, we come to question number 6. Karl Marx's most famous solo work is Das Kapital, but what does the title mean in English? I thought that I was going to make fun of the person who wrote The Capital / Money, because I was going to point out that the whole point of the book is that money isn't capital. That labor and capital are... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Then I got the answer that Das Kapital in English was My Struggle. Now, I don't need to go into why that's wrong in a beautiful, strange way, but everyone else playing does. And thank you so much to the 2 teams who said My Struggle. Das Kapital is simply the capital, as in things of worth. Anyway, on with the answers. The annual holiday first observed in 1866 in New York is Memorial Day. Sitting Bull was a religious leader of the Lakota people, and his famous adopted daughter was Annie Oakley. Question number 9. Napoleon was exiled to the island of Elba, E-L-B-A, and he died on St. Helens, or St. Helena, or Santa Helena. And question number 10. Clifton Hillgas, in the 1950s, invented Cliff Notes. Not the Encyclopedia Britannica, but Cliff Notes. Again, his name was Clifton Hillgas. I'm going to very quickly score the final round. I'm not even going to cut the camera because I can... Excellent round from the fidget spinners, who submitted it before I did the second answer. So let's try and work out real quickly the final scores now that we have their score. Let's rearrange the data, and then we'll have it. Thank you all for playing, especially during the terrible disconnection earlier. Here are the final scores in reverse order. In 9th place with 26 points is the team himself. In 9th place, in joint 9th place, with 28 points are Let's Get Quizzical and Quizronavirus. In 7th place, in 6th place with 29 points is Notorious P.I.G. In 5th place with 33 points is the team Here for the Beer. With 35 points in 4th place. 35 points to the Highlighter Ink Shortage. Highlighter Ink Shortage. Very nice attempt. However, in joint 2nd place with 37 points are manslaughter bees and the fidget spinners. Congratulations. But a special congratulations to, in first place with 40 points, a team possibly playing for the first time or picked a new name, but congratulations to Phantoms of the Dispossessed. You got first place and win the adulation of your very geeky peers. I'll be back next week. We'll keep doing this as long as I want to or feel that it's worthwhile. Thank you all for making it worthwhile for me. Be well, do good, stay safe, and I will see you all next week at the same bat time. Feel free to email me if you have any suggestions, both for changes to the format or your suggestions for runs. That being said, I will waste no more of your time. Thank you all very much. Yes, the modern country. Anyway, we'll get to that next week. Thank you all very much. Oops, didn't transition. That